ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। वटावत्सा वनस्पतयः वटावत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथक् रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नानाधातुं स्वसानुषु। वटावत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथक् रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नानाधातुं स्वसानुषु। वटावत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथक् रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नानाधातुं स्वसानुषु। वटावत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथक् रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नानाधातुं स्वसानुषु। Hare Krishna, anybody wants to chant?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Damla Pranam. Vadvatsa vanaspataya pratak rasamayam payaha giriyo himavadvatsaha nana dhatum swasanushu. Hare Krishna
Prabhuji, Damla Pranam. Vadvatsa vanaspataya pratak rasamayam paya giriyo हिमवद्वर्षा नानाधातुं शशानुषु हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। वटावत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथक् रसामयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नाना धातुन् स्वसानुषु। हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी।
हरि हरि वनस्पतयः पृथग्रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वच्चः नानाधातुं स्वसानुषु। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। वटोवत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथग्रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नाना धातुं ससानुषु। हरे कृष्ण
प्रभुजी प्रणाम। वटावत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथग्रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नाना धातुं स्वसानुषु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। वटवत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथाग्रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नानाधातून् स्वसानुषु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। वटावत्सा वनस्पत्यः पृथग्रसमयं पयः गिरो हिमवद्वत्सा नानाधातून् स्वसानुषु। हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। थैंक यू सो मच।
समयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नाना धातुन् स्वसानुषु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। वटवत्सा वनस्पतय पृथक् रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नाना धातुन् स्वसानुषु। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। वडवत्स वनस्पतयः पृथक् रसमयं पयः करयो हिमवद्वत्सा नाना धातून् स्वसानुषु। हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। थैंक यू।
वटावत्स वनस्पतया पृथक् रसमयं पायः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नाना धातुं ससानुषु। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। वटावत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथग्रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नाना धातून् स्वसानुषु। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। वटवत्सा वनस्पतयः पृथक् रसमयं पयः गिरयो हिमवद्वत्सा नाना धातून् स्वसानुषु। हरे कृष्ण प्रणाम प्रभु।
Vatavatsaha, making the banyan tree a calf. Vanaha patayaha, the trees. Prithag, different. Rasamayam, in the form of juices. Payaha, milk. Girayaha, the hills and mountains. Himavat vatsaha, making the Himalayas the calf. Nana, various. Dhatum, minerals. Swa, own. Sanushu, on the peaks. The trees made a calf out of the banyan tree and thus did derive milk in the form of many delicious juices. The mountains transformed the Himalayas into a calf and they milked the variety of minerals into a pot made of the peak of hills. The plant that supplied everyone its respective food. During the time of King Prithu, earth was fully under the control of the king. Thus, all the inhabited earth could get their food supply by creating various types of calf and putting their particular type of milk in various pots. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by Zivange Sesi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. This is evidence that the Lord supplies food to everyone, as confirmed in the Vedas. Eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. Although the Lord is one, he is supplying all necessities to everyone through the medium of the planet Earth. There are different varieties of living entities on different planets, and they all derive their eatables from their planets in different forms. On the basis of these descriptions, how can one assume that there is no living entity on the moon? Every moon is earthly, being composed of the 5 elements. Every planet produces different types of food according to the needs of its residents. According to Vedic Shastras, it is not true that the moon does not produce food or that no living entity is living there. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashad Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So how you are going to teach the last line? According to the Vedic Shastra, it is not true that the moon does not produce food or that no living entity is living there. So tell me, how are you going to explain this? Yes? The scientists will say, we went to the moon, we didn't see anybody there. India also sent recently a probe to the moon. So, what is your answer for this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, according to Prabhupada has told that no one can go to moon. Actually, they have not gone to moon at all.
Okay. Okay, that is one answer. Okay, then another answer. Any other answer?
Maybe they have landed in the desert of moon, Prabhuji.
Okay. They landed in the wrong place in the moon. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah. The body should be suitable. Yeah, okay, ma. Thank you. The body should be suitable. Anybody can go to any planet, but the body should be suitable to go to that planet. For example, yes.
So you should, okay, you can go to the moon, you're another point, but go in a suitable body for that atmosphere.
Suitable for that planet.
And then you can,
yes.
Then you can meet other people there, no? Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji. Even the sun planet is so, so this thing hot, but there are living entities. People have bodies suitable to live in that planet. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Any other answer?
Prabhuji, also there is life
maybe
in
we don't
every
have
planet.
the divine eyes to see the living beings living on the moon.
So you don't have the eyes to see the people on the moon, okay? Okay, so that's similar to what she said. We have a body, suitable body, then we can live there and talk to the people living there, okay? So, any other? Before we go to what Prabhupada says about moon?
Prabhuji, there is life in every planet. But we have to be eligible to go there.
Okay,
Our karmas have to be that because there are living entities living even in water and even in fire. So how can there be no living entities living in moon?
Good. Thank you, all learned devotees. Yes, Supriti Mataji, start.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Modern man has struggled very hard to reach the moon, but he has not tried very hard to elevate himself spiritually. If one has 50 years of life ahead of him, he should engage that brief time in cultivating this practice of remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This practice is the devotional service. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dhasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam. Srimadbhagavatam 7.5.23. These 9 processes, of which the easiest is Shravanam, hearing the Bhagavad Gita from the realized person, will turn one to the thought of the Supreme Being. This will lead to remembering the Supreme Lord and will enable one, upon leaving the body, to attain a spiritual body which is just fit for association with the Supreme Lord.
So the first thing Srila Prabhupada says, don't waste your time trying to do. So much effort you are putting, go to the moon. Prabhupada says, why don't you try hard to elevate yourself spiritually? But why you are wasting your time? So first thing Prabhupada rejects even an effort, it says waste. Don't waste your time. Okay? Yes, Mataji, the second paragraph.
One who can approach that spiritual sky is not required to descend again to the material sky. In the material sky, even if we approach the highest planet, Brahmaloka, what to speak of the moon, we will find the same conditions of life, namely birth, death, disease, and old age. No planet in the material universe is free from these four principles of material existence.
So what's the point? You go to the moon, you have to die there. क्या फायदा क्या? वहाँ भी जाके मरना ही है. So what are you trying? What will be the benefit? Is there any eternal benefit in going to the moon? No, it's just like a flash. Even if suppose you make so many arrangements, today we don't have the technology. They say they went, we don't know where they went. And they lost the technology and they want us to believe that. We had the technology and we lost it. Great. So anyway, we had the money, we don't have the money now. We had the technology, we have lost the technology now. And please believe us, even if this is all true, and even if you can go to the moon by spending trillions of dollars, even though people are starving on earth, I'll spend trillions of dollars and go to the moon. Okay, even if you do that, what is the achievement? You're going to die. Anyway, death is there. So what's going to be the achievement? Isn't this logical, reasonable? So for eternal soul, this is going to be of what use? There's a flash, half a second of some silly entertainment.
Even elevation into a higher planetary situation, as men are now seeking on the moon planet, can also be finished at one stroke. The Bhagavad Gita confirms things. Kshine punye bhatya lokam vishanti. When the results of pious activities are finished, one falls down again from the peak of happiness to the lowest status of life. Many politicians of the world have fallen down in that way. Such downfalls only constitute more causes for lamentation.
Only makes it feel more sad. So we may be in a very comfortable position, but if we start papa activities, then very soon we will lose. And punya gets exhausted, then we will see only difficulties. Yeah.
In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni mentions that those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on earth attain to the moon at death. These elevated souls live on the moon for about 10,000 years by demigod calculations and enjoy life by drinking somarasa. They eventually return to earth. This means that on the moon there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by the gross senses.
Yes, Haribol. So somebody gave the right prediction. They may not be perceived by the gross senses. Sri Radha Govinda ki. Yeah. So this Prabhupada is saying they may not be perceived by the grace giving a hint here. Because the Devatas, their bodies are subtle all. Devatas can be present here, they can come anywhere at any time. They also have a privilege to be visible or not visible. They can make themselves visible if they want. Like, Devatas can make themselves visible. And sometimes they give darshan. When great yagnas used to be held at the Vedic time, common people could see the Devatas coming down. The Devatas were making themselves visible if they want. And they can make themselves invisible if they want. So you cannot see if you like. You just see desert, that's all. So they may not be perceived by the gross sense is very important. And the another thing Prabhupada is saying, go to the moon in a proper way. Fruitive activities, sacrificial method, you may go to the moon. And then what happens? 10,000 years, by the calculation of the Devatas. It's roughly 10,000 years. Actually it is 12. 12,000 into 360 is 4 Devatas undergo one cycle of the yugas, Satyuga, Treta-yuga, Dwapara-yuga, Kali-yuga. Together is 12,000 days. 12,000 years. And each year of a Devata, each hour year is equal to 1 day. So into 360. 12,360 is the duration of the one set of yugas. Chalo, one more.
If one has any desire to go to the moon, the sun, or any other planet, one can attain the desired destination by following specific Vedic principles recommended for that purpose, such as the process technically known as Darsha Paurnamasi. These are vividly described in the fruitive activities portion of the Vedas, which recommends a specific worship of demigods situated on different heavenly planets. Similarly, one can attain the Pita planets by performing a specific yagna. Similarly, one can go to many ghostly planets and become a yaksha Raksha, or Pishacha. Pishacha worship is called black arts or black magic. There are many men who practice this black art and they think that it is spiritualism, but such activities are completely materialistic. Similarly, a pure devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead only achieves the planets of Vaikuntha and Krishna Loka without a doubt. It is very easy to understand through this important verse that if by simply worshipping the demigods one can achieve the heavenly planets, or by worshipping the Pitas, achieve the Pita planets, or by practicing the black arts, achieve the ghostly planets, why can the pure devotee not achieve the planet of Krishna or Vishnu? Unfortunately, many people have no information of these sublime planets where Krishna and Vishnu live, and because they do not know of them, they fall down. Even the impersonalists fall down from the Brahma Jyoti. The Krishna conscious movement is therefore distributing sublime information to the entire human society to the effect that by simply chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become perfect in this life and go back home, back to Godhead.
So just by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, we can go back home, back to Godhead. That's the main essence. And if you can go to Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Piti Yanti, why not go back to the spiritual world?
The word Matparaha refers to one who considers the association of Krishna and his supreme abode to be the highest perfection of life. Such a person does not wish to be elevated to the higher planets such as the moon or sun or heavenly planets or even the highest planet of this universe, Brahmaloka. He has no attraction for that. He is only attracted to being transferred to the spiritual sky. And even in the spiritual sky, he is not satisfied with merging into the glowing Brahmajyoti effulgence. For he wants to enter the highest spiritual planet, namely Krishna Loka, Goloka, Vrindavana. He has full knowledge of that planet and therefore he is not interested in any other, as indicated by the word Mad Bhaktaha. He fully engages in devotional service, specifically in the 9 process of devotional engagement: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering prayers, carrying out the orders of the Lord, making friends with Him, and surrendering everything to Him. One can engage in all 9 devotional processes, or 8 or 7, or at least in one, and that will surely make one perfect. The unintelligent cannot understand how things
Understand this. So the devotee's only mission in life is association of Krishna. He wants to be with Krishna. He doesn't care about the moon, he doesn't care about sun, he doesn't care about Brahma Jyoti. He wants personal association of a Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna. Okay, and he's preparing for that.
The unintelligent cannot understand how things are taking place, but one can begin to be established in knowledge by understanding what the Lord explains here. Everyone sees the sun, moon, fire, and electricity. One should simply try to understand that the splendor of the sun, the splendor of the moon, and the splendor of electricity or fire are coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In such a conception of life, the beginning of Krishna consciousness lies a great deal of advancement for conditioned soul in this material world. The living entities are essentially the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and He is giving herewith the hint how they can come back to Godhead, back to Him.
This is in Bhagavad Gita, Even Bhagavad Gita, we read purports again and again, so much is there. So Prabhupada is saying that in a moon, if you see the moon in the evening and understand the shine of the moon is because of Krishna, the great advancement in spiritual life. If you see the sun, you see the light of the sun, is because of Krishna. Okay? Coming from the Supreme, they're actually originally, they're borrowing energy from the Supreme Lord. There is a lot of spiritual advancement. Because first we have to appreciate Krishna's potencies. Then we can appreciate Krishna's personality.
I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. It is understood that all the planets are floating in the air only by the energy of the Lord. The Lord enters into every atom, every planet, and every living being. That is discussed in the Brahma Samhita. It is said that one plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, enters into the planets, the universe, the living entity, and even into the atom. So, due to his entrance, everything is appropriately manifested. When the spirit soul is there, a living man can float on the water, but when the living spark is out of the body and the body is dead, the body sinks. Of course, when it is decomposed, It floats just like straw and other things, but as soon as the man is dead, he at once sinks in the water. Similarly, all these planets are floating in space, and this is due to the entrance of the supreme energy of the Supreme Personative Godhead. His energy is sustaining each planet just like a handful of dust. If someone holds a handful of dust, there is no possibility of dust falling, but if one throws it in the air, it will fall down. Similarly, these planets, which are floating in the air, are actually held in the fist of the universal form of the Supreme Lord. By his strength and energy, all moving and non-moving things stay in their place. It is said in the Vedic hymns that because of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sun is shining and the planets are steadily moving. Were it not for him, all the planets would scatter like dust in air and perish. Similarly, it is due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead that the moon nourishes all vegetables. Due to the moon's influence, the vegetables become delicious. Without the moonshine, the vegetables can neither grow nor taste succulent. Human society is working, living comfortably, and enjoying food due to the supply from the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, mankind could not survive. The word rasatmakaha is very significant. Everything becomes palatable by the agency of the Supreme Lord through the influence of the moon.
Okay, so again coming to the moon, moonshine. Now this is, I don't know whether science has understood this, but that the moonshine is responsible giving the juice of life to the vegetables, giving the tasty. Vegetables become delicious, properly saying, because of moonshine. I don't know whether this is known. Any agriculturist here? Modern science recognizes this? Recognize? Modern science also recognizes. They have experimented, proved. Okay, this is proved. Okay, continue.
Some Mayavadi scholars argue that Srimad Bhagavatam was not compiled by Sri Vyasadeva, and some of them suggest that this book is a modern creation written by someone named Vopadeva. In order to refute such meaningless arguments, Sri Sridhara Swami points out that there is a reference to the Bhagavatam in many of the oldest Puranas. This first shloka of the Bhagavatam begins with the Gayatri mantra. There is reference to this in the Matsya Purana, which is the oldest Purana. In that Purana, it is said about the Bhagavatam that in it there are many narrations of spiritual instructions, that it begins with the Gayatri mantra, and that it contains a history of Rutasura. Anyone who makes a gift of this great work on a full moon day attains to the highest perfection of life by returning to Godhead.
So then our moon and Bhagavatam is connected on a full moon day, actually referring to the Bhadra Purnima. If you gift Bhagavatam to somebody, you get a lot of spiritual blessings. Okay. So moon is connected to our Bhagavatam reading also. Yeah.
Every man everywhere is trying to obtain the greatest amount of sense enjoyment by various endeavors. Some men are busy engaged in trade, industry, economic development, political supremacy, etc. And some of them are engaged in fruitive work to become happy in the next life by attaining higher planets. It is said that on the moon, the inhabitants are fit for greater sense enjoyment by drinking somarasa, and the Pitruloka is obtained by good charitable work. So there are various programs for sense enjoyment either during this life or in the life after death. Some are trying to reach the moon or any other planets by some mechanical arrangement, for they are very anxious to get into such planets without doing good work. But it is not going to happen. By the law of the Supreme, different places are meant for different grades of living beings according to the work they have performed. By good work only, as prescribed in the scriptures, one can obtain birth in a good family, opulence, good education, and good bodily features. We see also that even in this life, one obtains a good education or money by good work. Similarly, in our next birth, we get such desirable positions only by good work. Otherwise, it would not so happen that two persons born in the same place at the same time are seen differently placed according to previous work. But all such material positions are impermanent. The positions in the topmost Brahmaloka and in the lowest Patala are also changeable according to our own work. The philosophically inclined person must not be tempted by such changeable positions. He should try to get into the permanent life of bliss and knowledge, where he will not be forced to come back again to the miserable material world, either in this or that planet. Misery and mixed happiness are two features of material life, and they are obtained in Brahmaroka and in other lokas also. They are also obtained in the life of the demigods and also in the life of the dogs and hogs. The miseries and mixed happiness of all living beings are only of different degree and quality, but no one is free from the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Similarly, everyone has his destined happiness also. No one can get more or less of these things simply by personal endeavors. Even if they are obtained, they can be lost again. One should not therefore waste time with these flimsy things. One should only endeavor to go back to Godhead. That should be the vision of everyone's life.
One should only endeavor to go back to Godhead. See how mercifully, affectionately, lovingly Prabhupada is saying. I should only endeavor to go back to Godhead. Therefore, Prabhupada used to say, make everybody read my books. He is putting an effort also there. That should be the mission of everyone's life.
Hare
Okay. Trying to reach moon by some mechanical, don't waste time in all this thing. Prabhupada is saying it is not going to happen. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you Prabhuji.
All
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhuji, congratulations.
you are coming for Diwali. Go.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna
Hare
Pranam
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
दिवाली तो कल ही है ना, ऑनलाइन भी वेलकम.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा.
Yes, Minal
Hare
ji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Prabhuji Prabhuji.
Minal, you want to add something?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I just wanted to add this thing. We just had a discussion in one of our class. Brian, there's a materially person called Brian Johnson who's trying to be young throughout, There's so much of time waste he's doing. And the very same day, I received a video of Narendra Modi, who was welcomed by the Russian people by Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I was like, one place, Prabhupada, even though he's not alive, his his teachings are being are alive, and this person, he's endeavoring so much. Okay, I'll be young throughout my life, which is really not possible, and he's wasting his energy somewhere. So that is the thing I was excited to share, Prabhuji. Just that. Hare Krishna.
All of us have been saved by the teachings of Prabhupada. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Right, and so much direction. I was just thinking that Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada used to be very much fascinated. He was very excited about, Prabhupada used to say he spent all his money in making these dioramas. And dioramas have, all three-dimensional, like the paintings we have, this is more like dioramas. But the dioramas are like what we have now for the, what do you call it? Damoda, that's kind of a diorama. So we can exhibit, today we exhibit a temple, but I was thinking more to exhibit Krishna conscious philosophy somehow. I don't know, meditate all of you, how we can do that. So that people come to the temple, okay, they see that the pastimes, they have their own vague understanding of the pastimes, not really philosophically sound. Okay, I know Dashavatara, I don't know what Dashavatara actually is. Some khichdi mostly. And they take darshan of the Lord, that's nice, they get benefited, and most important impact will be to have more sankirtana so the people can participate in it, and they get a joy of Krishna consciousness. But at the same time, two things, we should also, not only we should make them chant Hare Krishna, we should tell them what is Krishna. So two things, teaching should continue, and then to actuate, to make them develop interest in it. I do not know how do I do that. Dioramas, big TVs like we can see, there is a TV behind me, like that. I don't know what we do. How do we do? So that people come and, the devotees are explaining. I was today thinking about, the thematic study that we do in level 4, maybe each one we can have a diorama, or if not a diorama, we can have a TV. If not TV, we can add some flex. Maybe the first stage we can have some flexes explaining the thing. People should read something when they come. Not just this, people read something, they read some philosophy. Or maybe through the TV. The TV is easy because flex or dioramas are static, you cannot change, but TV can be changed. That TV we can change the screens easily. Maybe that will be the best big TVs, and then we have message, and point by point and different thematic points. People should hear something when they come. Now, if generally when the people come, you say, "Come on down, I want to take a class," they will run away. We have to create an interest. We have to create an interest. Where do we do that? Which part of the temple? We do that. I thought we can do it in the below, but then it's the most convenient way for prasadam. It's easier there. Okay, so anyway, thinking how to create a situation that, short movies 2 minutes, somehow to create interest in that. There's some places they create some quizzes for people to say, you get a prize if you solve these questions.
Very excellent program.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, some ISKCON temples have this like japa room, like whoever come, they go inside and do at least one round japa. Some beads will be given to them and it will be available. So they will get that taste little bit of japa.
No, but see, just we have to tell them what is Krishna. Just
yes, Prabhuji.
I'm meditating on that. That anyway we can do. We outside the temple also, we have big place. We can make 100 rounds ka jagah. That all we will one direction to work. But I'm just thinking of the direction that how let them develop some interest in the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Correct?
Yes.
How to make them develop. Okay. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
We do not
Damodar Ashtakam, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, we can have an auditorium and show some show to them. Prabhuji.
What is that?
Auditorium and show some shows.
Short movies.
Yes, Prabhuji.
2 minutes.
Yes, Prabhuji, it will be very nice. Kids also enjoy, parents.
Yeah, if we can make a kind of an auditorium where we have a lot of depiction of Krishna conscious philosophy, we can bring all the schools and colleges.
3D theater, Prabhuji. 3D
Yeah.
theater with that, or 7D with that FX also. It will be nice, Prabhuji. You'll attract, yeah.
The parents will bring their children because they know
Yes.
the knowledge also we get there. It's
Yes.
unique. The schools will be eager to send the children, there's something we learn there. Correct? That too.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. 3D theaters with the live effect of Krishna.
Calcutta, who is in Calcutta? Who is in Calcutta here in this place? Science City, have you seen? Just go explore. Those are in Calcutta. Okay, now let us do Damodar Ashtaka. Just I was today thinking, the changing of the body, the varnashrama, the demigods, the impersonalism. There are so many wonderful elements of philosophy. How do we exhibit that? And so the people see, they read, they appreciate. And that will be exciting, no? So we are moving towards educating the people. Otherwise, this is done is great, but proper time, what happened in the temples? There was nice Sankirtana and people are cracking and becoming Krishna devotee, correct? They were giving Prabhupada books and her holy name and Prabhupada books were doing the work. Just thinking something we can do.
Prabhuji, how many Prabhupada books are there so that we can read them one by one?
You want to read all of them one by one, or what do you want to do?
I want to read all of them one by one. Are all of them available on Vedabeat?
Yes, almost all. Okay. Hare Krishna, chalo. Who's going to sing today? Start off.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Namami saram satchitananda rupam lataskundalam kokule bhrajamanam yasodavayo lalabdavamanam paramishtamatyantam todutya gopya रुदन्तमुहो नेत्रयुगं विजन्तं कराम्भोजयुग्मेन सातकं नित्यं मुहश्वासकं प्रतिखण्डकण्ठः स्थितगेव दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दिक्सलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे सघोषं निमज्जन्तमाख्यापयन्तम् तदीये शिक्षागेषु भक्तिचित्तत्वं पुनः प्रेम सतावृत्तिबिन्दम् वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षवर्धि वा न चान्यं विहेनं वरे सदापिहम् इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्य विरास्तमकिं इदं ते मुखाभोजनीलेत् पितः कुन्तले स्निग्धवक्रेशश्च गोप्या मुहुचुम्बिता बिम्बरक्तधरं मे मनस्य विरस्तामलं लच्छलाभे नमो देव दामोदरन्त विष्णु प्रसिद्ध प्रभो दुःख जलब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिदृष्ट्यादित्यनम्बतानु गृहा गणेश मामज्ञमध्यजिष्य कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमित्युदयद्वत् त्वया मोचितो भक्तिभाजकृतश्च तथा प्रेम भक्ति संकवा में प्रैच्छम न मोक्षे ग्रहो में अस्ति दामोदरहम नमस्तेस्तु दाम्ने स्फूर्तिदीप्त धाम्ने त्वरीयोदरायाध विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिका त्वदीया प्रियाये नमो अन्तलीला देवाय तुभ्यवम् नमो राधिका प्रियाय प्रियाय नमो अन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे
हरे
कृष्णा प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Prabhuji. Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you Prabhuji. Dandavat
Thank
pranam
you,
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare
हरे कृष्णा
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
हरे
Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी थैंक यू दंडवत प्रणाम
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम
प्रणाम प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम
नहीं गए देखा तो
Happy Diwali, everyone.
Happy Diwali.
हैप्पी दिवाली हैप्पी दिवाली
Happy
माता जी
Diwali,
हैप्पी दिवाली सबको
माता जी सभी को हैप्पी दिवाली.
Diwali Mataji. Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Happy Diwali to
Hare Krishna,
all
everyone.
devotees and Matajis and Prabhujis.
Prabhuji Hare Krishna
Happy Diwali.